Welcome to a very weird video, but it's one that I really wanted to cover. Today we are looking across all the Total War titles, and we're going to see which ones are the most played in the year 2020. Okay, so what we got first is Shogun 1 Total War, the first ever game, and it's on Steam. Right now it has 32 players in game. To be honest, this actually impresses me. I'm surprised 32 people are playing this right now on Steam. Its average peak lately is about 94 players. Let's take a look at this. So this is its overall time. Now, for the first four, Shogun 1 to Medieval 2, it's going to be a bit of... This is going to be difficult to see because it was launched on disc first. And yeah, so we don't see the same explosion of day one explosion as we see with Warhammer 2, for example. So, yeah, it's going to look a little bit weird, but this starts from when it went on Steam, which was in 2015. Overall, player count for Shogun 1 Total War has only gone up. Actually, 128 players it had at this point. So yeah, just some interesting stats here, and this is what this video is. It's nothing serious. We're just going to have a little look around and see which Total War games are played the most. Moving on now to Medieval 1 Total War. 95 players right now, gets to about 200 players at a night. That's quite good. Okay, so this is overall. Once it launched on Steam, had a lot of players, then that dropped. But gradually, as it has gone back up again. Rome Total War, 901 players. Now, with these first four games, you've of course got to take into account there's the disc version. So, what I will probably say is, double these numbers. Assume that the amount of people who play on Steam also are playing on disc. That doesn't happen with Napoleon Total War, as it's like Steam only. Even though you have a disc, you still got to be on Steam to actually have it. So, I will say, let's say, about 1,800 people are playing Rome 1 Total War right now. That would be my guess. So just double the numbers sort of thing. Okay, and here we are. Launched on Steam 2008. Not that many players at first because of course people had the disc. But gradually as people have moved over to Steam, it's gone quite high up. Where's that? 4,000 people at that point. 2013. What happened in 2013? Was that the release of Rome 2 Total War? Yeah, I bet this was people who were, they've heard about the Rome 2 Total War announcement, they've gotten a bit hype, and they've all logged in to play Rome 1 Total War. I bet that's what that is there. And then gradually it seems to have balanced out a little bit. These are Twitch viewers, by the way, the orange one. 1,500 people viewing on Twitch, that's January 28th, 2019. I bet that would have been a Legend of Total War stream. Maybe. No, he didn't get that. It gets that many viewers on YouTube, but it didn't get them on Twitch. Maybe Pixelated Apollo went back to it for a day, I don't know. It's difficult to tell. Now this is where it gets really high up. Medieval 2 Total War, 2,300 players. Clearly this is much more popular than the other ones. It would actually be more closer to 5,000 overall, I bet, if we were to include disc version. And yeah, here it is overall. So as you can clearly see, it launched and it's only gone up over time as people have moved away from disc and over to the Steam version. Oh, poor Empire Total War, it's got even less players on Medieval 2. Yeah, it's doing, although that's actually quite impressive really, come to think about it. I thought it would be much worse. I'm actually surprised it has more players than Rome Total War. 1,700 on Empire. At night it gets to about 4,000. Right, let's see it overall. Okay, so this is the day that it launched on Steam. 21,000 players. Then on the... yeah, but... ooh, that's a Monday. I thought it would be weekend. Oh, it only calculates Mondays. So once it's been out for 2 weeks, then it reaches its peak of 27,000 people. And then it gets this sudden drop all the way down. Just to like... yeah, very low numbers. It goes up again, back down, and then it slowly just evens out. Alright, now it's getting interesting. Now we're actually seeing them launch on Steam. So we actually get to see how quickly it takes for the game to like sort of die off. Empire looks more like about 3 or 4 weeks. Napoleon Total War. That's got even less than Empire. I actually prefer Napoleon Total War to Empire. I do really like Napoleon Total War, but yeah, surprised about that. That's like Rome 1 level numbers. Just 3 more people are playing it. Alright, so it of course launched. Not to as much hype as Empire Total War did. I've talked about this before, and there was a lot of hype for Empire Total War. The most watched Total War video on YouTube is from 8 years ago or something like that, and it's an Empire Total War demo battle. A load of people were excited about that game, and we can clearly see it with its launch numbers there, 27,000 compared to Napoleon, which only got 9,000. But it didn't have that much of a drop off. It's like the people who played Rome Total War Day 1 was 8,000. Now it's like 2,000, so that's divided by 4. But to go from 21,000 to 4,000, that's of course a much bigger loss. Shogun 2 Total War, 1,500. Really? More people play Empire than Shogun 2? That really surprises me, that. Wow. It's like, not to hate on Empire, but I did not expect it to get that many players. From what I hear, like a lot of people do like it and want an Empire 3. I want an Empire 3. Empire 2 Total War. But it still gets a lot of hate that I see. And whenever I upload an Empire Total War video, there's always people who get annoyed at me, calling it a dead game, why am I covering this stuff like that. But it actually gets a lot of players compared to the others. Alright, so Shogun 2 Total War, 38,000. Yeah, I remember this one was very hype because it was the first ever Total War game Shogun won, but a sequel to it. There was a lot of excitement, however this died off very quickly. Actually no, it didn't. 1, 2, 3, about 3 or 4 weeks. That seems to be the average. It had a weird peak here. I bet that could have been a DLC or something. And gradually it has gone down. Yeah, Shogun 2 doesn't have as many players lately as I thought it would. Rome 2 Total War, 4,000 players currently, and it reaches almost 10,000 on a night. Alright, let's check out this launch. So, day 1, what did it get? 118,000 players. That's triple Shogun 2. Oh, that's a lot of players. And it had that for about 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks of that. And then it dropped down to half, and then... oh yeah, that dropped down very quickly. It had some spikes, these could have been DLC launches, and gradually it has gone down. Like these show DLC, so new DLC, that's a culture pack, the blood and gore pack. Oh yeah, this is just going downhill. Alright, Caesar in Gaul, and then Beast of War, nothing really. Hannibal at the gates, nothing really happened. What causes these jumps here? Could have been a sale. Yeah, I mean it's got the sales on. This is Rise of the Republic campaign. It got an extra 5,000 players for about 2 or 3 days, but it died off again quickly. By the way, this is for the website steamdb.info. You know, you can just go on this website here and check almost all Steam games. And I think DLCs as well, which is interesting. You can. There's lots of stuff. Let's take a quick look. So these are prices of the game in different countries. So let's get converted price. So in Israel, £56 it would cost, and in Argentina it is cheapest. I believe that's what it means. Like in the converted. Here are all the sales. Oh, it went down to it went down to 3p in South Korea. Wow. Yeah, I don't know how accurate all this information is, but the other stuff seems right. Alright, so if Rome 2 is getting 4,000, Attila Total War 1,600. That's kind of where I expected it to be. On a night it gets up to about 4,000. So let's see its launch. When it launched, 26,000, yeah, it didn't have that much. Maybe a lot of people were disappointed from Rome 2 still. That would have course caused issue. Right, so we got a culture pack. Right, these DLCs actually seem to increase it. Like with the Rome 2 DLCs, there wasn't even really that much of a... There wasn't that much movement at all, but this seems to be actually quite a big leap. Age of Charlemagne. Age of Charlemagne kept it alive quite a while, almost doubled player base for a few weeks. And then there's the other DLC, and then a sale, but by that point, it was all downhill after that. Slowly going down. Now we're getting into Warhammer, only 870 players. Yeah, I bet most people who played Warhammer 1 are now playing Warhammer 2. Right, let's check out this launch. I know it was a big launch. Right, so it hasn't launched, and then... these would have been... These here are YouTubers playing it earlier. That's what these numbers are. And then it launched, and 113,000. And yeah, same as usual, it's dropped down quite a bit after the first 4 weeks. But still had quite a lot of players, much more than Rome 2 Total War did. Yeah, it was going really well. And then it reached its final peak in August 7th, 2017, and it was all downhill after that. August 7th, 2017, what happened? This is what happened. Warhammer 2 released just a couple of weeks after, and everyone went to that instead. So yeah, it's Warhammer 2 that actually killed off Warhammer 1, but let's see what Warhammer 2 got. Overall, right now, 15,000 players on right now. 15,000. On a night it reaches 30,000. How was it on launch? 72,000, but 40,000 people watching on Twitch. This game seems really popular on Twitch. And then we got some spikes around, and yeah, it hasn't really gone down. Actually, that hasn't gone down really at all. It went down in its first 1-2 weeks, but after that it stayed at the same level really for about a couple of years. Okay, that's actually very impressive compared to all the others. This is actually keeping its playership and viewership. Wow, that is impressive. And last but not least, Total War 3 Kingdoms, 12,000, which is a lot of players as well, but it's not Warhammer 2 height. On a night it reaches near enough 20,000. By the way, there's this weird dip that happens for all the games on this day at this time. I'm guessing servers went down or something. Or maybe a Steam issue, I don't know. Okay, so... This is weird. This is very weird. So, 3 Kingdoms Total War was added to the Steam search thing all the way back in 2018. 2018. And this would have been roughly when it was announced, once it gets Twitch viewers. Yeah, this was probably when YouTubers were covering it. Can't remember exactly. And then it launches to how many players? Well, it's a lot. I can tell it's a lot. Come on, let me see it. Alright, I'm gonna have to zoom in. There we go. Okay, how many players is it? 162,000 on launch, and by the weekend, it got the record, almost hitting 200,000 players. 48,000 viewers on Twitch. And this would have been when Mandate of Heaven was released. Yep, I remember that, and that's given it a boost. And the players are still playing it because it's still up. Ah, interesting. Okay, so that's everything that I wanted to cover when it comes to the amount of players still playing these Total War games. I just wanted to have a look, and I thought I'll share it on video as well. It's been a weird video, I know, not my usual stuff, but it's something that I found interesting, and surely some of you will find it interesting as well. But there's one more here, and I don't know what to think of it. Total War Caveman. Now, this was just a game that I found whilst researching through all of these in the search. Total War Caveman. Now, information for this, it dates back all the way to... Where is it? So yeah, here's a load of changes for it. It dates back all the way to 2013. Like, that's when it was added to the Steam store, but it's hidden under Total War Caveman. And if we look, changed name Total War Rome 2 to Caveman. So yeah, there's references to Rome 2 Total War in here. So what I think Caveman was, it was like we would have talked about Total War Caveman, and that would have been like code for Rome 2 Total War. So it's like a code name, yeah, code name, that's it. Caveman was the code name for Rome 2 Total War. I just find it interesting that Caveman is in here, and yeah, it's just a Rome 2 Total War code name. So if you were to see that, that's what it is, it's just a Rome 2 Total War code. Or maybe it's a massive conspiracy, Total War Caveman is coming, and Rome 2 Total War was the cover name. But nah, I doubt it. So yeah, I just found this in here and I thought it'd be interesting to share. And it does of course match the day of before Rome 2 Total War was released. So it is of course the code name. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more, like if you enjoyed, and share with anybody who you think may be interested in this. I've been MELKOR, goodbye.